Hello again, this is Greg Wagner with CIS 131. I wanted to get you started making your first program in Java in case you get stuck or if you need references to go back to. So this is here is the Eclipse window in Linux. On the left here you have the package browser where it's basically shows all your files that you're running, a task list outline of your program, and then the bottom you can show your problems, the Java docs you're creating, which is basically a way to document it, any declarations, and then the console. The console is where the output is. When I initially brought this up, the console wasn't available, so if you want to see the console, go to Window, Show View, and then Console should be the second one down. So what I'm going to do is just kind of make a basic program that you run, show you how you can run in Unix if you want to, or in the Windows DOS, and then also just kind of basics that you could use for getting your set up for the first assignment. So for the first assignment, I'm going to get rid of this task list, the outline, and just leave the package explorer up here. So to make a program, go to New, and then Java Project, or you can go in Project and make it. So I'll do Project since it's a little bit thing. I've got Java Project, Next, my project name. So I'm going to call this project Example 1. And notice how it gets automatically put in here. And then you have your Java project, execute, work sets, stuff like that. You don't need to change really any of these things for this first assignment. It shows you where it's going to put it, and then it shows you what files it's going to create. Source is where basically all your files are going to be. So if you hit finish, you should see your file in the package explorer. So the next thing you want to do is actually make a class. So what I like to do is I'll right click on the sources where your code goes, go to New and Class. Now class is the file basically is both the class is an object object in, or I'm sorry, more of a data structure in Java, and also the file name has to match. So I'm going to make a class, and then the package is default, which is basically the top level. Normally when you make big programs you don't want to do this, but since it's a small program you can have a default package. And then I'm going to give it the name, I'll just call this test1. And you can see you give me a little warning in Eclipse saying do not use the default package. Now what you want to create is a main method. So when the Java compiles and when it gets run on the virtual machine, it looks for the main method as where to start your program. So I'm going to click this, and it should create a main method for me to make our program. So we got this basic main method, and so since this is a programming class, you want to make some documentation. So I have a default where it makes documentation. I'll say this is basic class. And this @ symbol is Java docs kind of tags. I don't use Java docs a whole lot, but you can use most stuff to make these tags when it compiles the code. And then in here, I'm going to make another thing saying main program. And then notice here, it makes this method. So the term public means any other object can see this. Static means it doesn't need to be called from an actual defined class. And then void means the output. So right before the name, this is whatever the output's going to be of this method. Main's the name, and then this is the inputs. For main methods, you can actually pass in values from the command line, and they're called arguments, and so you can pass in these actual arguments. And so in my program, what I'm going to do is I am going to make a basic hello world. So for the hello world, you do system out println, and then in here type in hello world. In Java, all strings are only surrounded by double quotes. And then notice here I have a semicolon at the end. It automatically put that in there and automatically put the brackets. So now I want to actually run this program. So I'm going to save it, and then if you look at this kind of old VCR play button thing up here, if you select the arrow and then run configurations, and then find the Java application, right-click Java, and it should say test1, and then the project name up here, the test, and so I'm going to call this CIS 131 test 1, and the class location is this class here, where this is the project name, and this is the class that it's in. And then so you can apply this, and then if you want to just run it right now, you can run it, and you can see it as hello world. Or now when you click up here, you can say run test 131, I'll say hello world. And then this is how you run it in Java, but if you want to run it in command line, so if you're in Windows, you're going to run it in the command function, and then Mac, you're going to run the terminal, and then in Unix you run terminal. So I'm going to say workspace is where all the Eclipse stuff goes for my setup, and then I'm going to go to cd example1, and then I want to make this file. So in Java is technically an interpreted language, but you actually need to compile the code to convert it to class file. So I'm going to do javac /d. So this is saying where's my files at, source, and then I'm going to do test. Let's see, I forgot. ls source. Oops. So I'm going to javac, and then actually I want to go into the source, cd source, javac, so this is the Java compiler, -d, this location, and then test1.java. So this should make the file. And then now if I do Java, so javac compiles the code and converts it into S. So if I do type ls here, you can say this is the file that I have up in this portion up here, and the class is like kind of semi-compiled code. And then Java runs the Java virtual machine, which is actually what runs the program. And since it's running through another program, that's why Java is technically an interpreted language. So I'm going to do Java test1, and there's nothing after it, and it'll print out hello world. So this is kind of the basics of getting the program started. Now for this first assignment, you guys need to read in a value and then make some calculations based on that. So what I'm going to do is just kind of show you how to read in a value, and then how to compare strings in Java, and this should give you a good start. So if you want to read in a value, you want to do import java.util.scanner. And this will basically give you a scanner program which you can read in stuff. And then I'm going to initially declare scanner. I'll list as sc equals new scanner, and then the input for the scanner declaration. So what this does in Java, so if you're not super familiar with Java, but you are familiar with other languages, the new actually allocates memory and it tells you, okay, I'm going to bring in a new object and then store in this place. And then in this constructor, I'm going to do system.in. And this is basically saying, okay, I'm going to read in stuff from the command line. System is basically goes to the console. And then I'm going to write a value, so I'll do system.out.println enter a day. And then beneath that, I'm going to do scanner next line. So what next line does is it reads in a string. And then I'm going to just print out some verification that I actually read in something correctly. So I'm going to say you entered, and then you can concatenate strings in Java using the plus symbol. And I made a mistake here. I need to, next line, if you highlight the value, show you where it prints that. So next line returns a string. So I need to say string day equals string next line, and then you entered day. And then what I'll put in here is if day equals and then whatever string you want to do, Monday, and then I'll print out hooray, you entered Monday. And then else I'll say boo, you did not enter Monday. So I'm going to run this now. And then if you try to run it, and it hasn't saved, I'll ask you to save. So I'll say enter a day, and I'll say Monday. And it says, hooray, you entered a Monday. And if I run that again, I say Tuesday. Boo, you did not enter Monday. Now also, kind of as a way to check to make sure that people are being, I guess, clear with their symbols, which you can also do instead of using equals, which makes sure that you have to have the correct upper and lower case. You can also equals, ignore case, and what this will do is you can have either uppercase or lowercase when you run it. So I'll do enter day, and I'll type in Monday, and notice how it still has it entered correctly. And so I could type it a number of different ways. And it still correctly identifies this as Monday. It just basically ignores case. What it actually does is it just lowers the case to, it makes a lowercase for all the letters. So this is the first kind of discovery. What I'll do is I'll try to make a video for every module, but I hope this helps you get started with the first assignment.